Hello guys, thank you so much for coming to this video. This is going to be the first overview that I do. The reason is that I noticed that since they remove the data from the decks, some of the people or viewers and maybe some may find it useful that someone can share the passive ability of a Pokemon, also the skills that they have and how is it that they can excel. So I'm going to go ahead and try to the best that I can to do something similar, right? So let me start off by showing you which we're gonna go ahead and view today. We're going for Mina and Granbull. Now this one, it's the only fairy type that we have on the game. There is no other fairy type besides this one. We're gonna go ahead and check the stats that I have because I don't want you to be based on the decks, because the decks will show you the maxed out 5 out of 5 syncs as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the abilities. And I must say that the first ability that he has, it only consumes 2 gouge slots and it has no additional effect. It hits all opponents, however, and it's for 55 base power and 100 accuracy. Now that is just an AoE attack. Now the second ability that we have, it's going to be Charm. You can find it and experience it on the handheld devices, and this lowers greatly, sharply reduces the attack of the enemy. If you use it 3 times, you have lowered the enemy or debuffed the enemy as much as you possibly can. Now this ability is actually pretty interesting because Granbull has a very good passive. So for this ability, that it's called What a Great Composition, this one basically copies the stat buffs that the enemy has. It's only it copies them as they are. If it's 2 stages, they copy 2 stages. 4 stages copies 4 stages. It doesn't double the effect or anything like that. For example, Will and Xatu, he doubles the buffs. So the most damaging ability is gonna be Play Rough. This ability actually has an effect, and it's that it has a low effect to actually a low chance, a small chance, very small chance of lowering the target's attack. Now it has a very good base power, which is 122 with a 90% accuracy, which could be a problem because you can miss that one. Now if you check out the stats, you can see that his lowest is going to be the special defense. Now we're going to go ahead and check the passive, because the passive, it is that his stats cannot be lowered. So having great composition, the ability to copy the enemy's buff, and then have the passive of not being able to have their stats debuff, even if it's the sync ability of the enemy, that's actually pretty awesome. It's a good composition, but to be honest, he doesn't have really good base stats. So yeah, you have to work around that. Now it's time to check this sync ability. I only have it 3 out of 5, but right here you can see that the base power for 3 out of 5 is 220, and it has an additional effect. Many sync abilities have additional effects, and a lot of people don't actually read it. They just use the ability. And for the additional effect is that the more that the opponent's attack has been lowered, the greater the power of this move. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and test this Pokemon in a battle, and I will try to show you the best outcome possible. I'll buff him as much as possible, increase his crit rate, and also I will debuff the enemy as much as possible, so that we can see how much we can get with a 3 out of 5 sync ability. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump into a battle. The left support and the right support are just here so that I can make sure that I get the most out of the Pokemon that I have. So that's the only reason. So let me go ahead and jump into a mission. I'm actually going to do a super course, and I'm actually choosing one in which he has the upper advantage, which is the elemental advantage. As you can see here, it's going to be a fairy type weakness, so we're gonna go ahead and take him because again, he is Mina and Granbull are the only fairy types at the moment. So let us go ahead and start the battle. Now the battle is going to be at normal speed so that you can truly enjoy how the battle is going to develop. Now it will take me time to build up the stats of my Pokemon, because I'm actually going to buff him as much as possible. It doesn't really matter if the enemy gets to be able to use their sync ability, because at the end the Granbull passive is that he can't have his stats lowered. So for example, right now I have already made sure that he has 100% crits, so that can't be lowered. Now the difficult part here will be that we also want to make sure that he is able to get to his +6 attack. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to use Unbreakable Bonds. Just to make sure that we get that sweet +3 attack 2 times. So that's once, and then we're gonna do it a second time. Hopefully we don't die in this battle. I mean, that's not what we're looking for. Now I believe that I have lowered the enemy's attack by 6 stages, and I have been able to also get my crit rate up and everything else. So I'm going just for Dazzling Gem so that I can see how much damage it deals, because I actually was able to get my special attack to 4 stages. Now since I have actually lost count of how much damage, how much I have debuffed the enemy, I'm going to use Charm once more, just to make sure that I have lowered the enemy's attack as much as possible, so that I can see how much damage this will be dealing. Okay, so let's see how much it is. So I was 3900. That's actually pretty good. It's not low damage, but it's to be honest, he doesn't really have really high base stats, but as you can see, he can do some damage. That was pretty good. And the passive ability of having Impervious, that's actually a plus. Very few Pokemon in the game have that ability. So that's gonna be all, guys. I just wanted to show you how much damage he could deal and what was the best scenario for him, right? So that he could actually excel. Now if I show you the decks, I already took the liberty of filtering only for fairy types. I can show you that his base power for 5/5 scync, it's gonna be 240. So that's pretty good. And the Dazzling Gem, it's gonna be 60 instead of 55. And the Play Rough, it's 133 instead of 120. Everything else should be the same, right? Because it's only the only thing that you get increased is the actual base damage. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you learned something out of it. And the main purpose is that since the dex has been edited so that you can see the stats and skills of a Pokemon, I wanted to show you what are the stats and bonuses of a Pokemon so that you can have a general idea of what to expect if you're looking for someone like him. Guys, thank you so much again for watching and have a very good day.